Hello and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Tuesday, February 3rd. I'm Grant Olson. Here are some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Roughly 188,000 people are now in line for a share of a $1.3 million settlement from the Chelan-Douglas Health District. The man found guilty of shooting his former girlfriend to death on Badger Mountain Road 3 years ago appeared from prison by video yesterday to have 2 of his convictions vacated. Expect a mix of clouds and sun with warmer temperatures through the rest of the week. Your full local weather forecast is straight ahead. County Sheriff's deputies cooperated Monday to arrest 2 people suspected of breaking into a property in the Palisades area. 31-year-old Fernando Camarena of Wenatchee and 30-year-old Katie Lynn Wentz of Moses Lake are accused of burglarizing a motorhome in Rimrock Meadows near the southeast edge of Douglas County. Deputies say when a witness approached and called the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, the suspects drove away on Cooley Meadows Road heading toward Ephrata. Grant County deputies tried to stop their fleeing minivan on Sagebrush Flats Road, but says the driver refused to stop and eventually became stuck after going off-road. Camarena was taken to Samaritan Healthcare in Moses Lake to be checked for injuries, while Wentz was turned over to Douglas County authorities to face burglary charges. After his release from the hospital, Camarena was lodged in the Grant County Jail. Roughly 188,000 people are now in line for a share of $1.3 million settlement from the Chelan-Douglas Health District. The settlement concludes a class action lawsuit brought on behalf of clients of the two-county public health agency whose personal data was accessed during a cyber attack in 2021. 2 former clients sued, saying the health district knew its computer systems were vulnerable to outside intrusions, but failed to take action to secure them. Chelan County Judge Kristen Ferreira gave preliminary approval for the agreement on Friday. Individual patients stand to claim up to $5,000 each for proven financial losses, plus up to $599 additionally. Those eligible to collect on the settlement should receive official notice starting 30 days from now. Nearly 30 years after the tragedy, the Moses Lake community gathered together on Sunday in remembrance of the Frontier Middle School shooting. On February 2, 1996, 14-year-old Barry Lucatus shot and killed his teacher, Leona Cares, and fellow students Manuel Vila Jr. and Arnie Fritz, both also just 14 years old. Lucatus is now serving 189 years in prison for 3 convictions for murder, 16 for kidnapping, and 2 for assault. On Sunday, the Spokesman Review reported that over 100 people, including former students and staff, returned to Frontier for the anniversary. The Moses Lake School District said the gathering was meant to provide a space for reflection and collective support while honoring the strength of the community. A bill sponsored by 12th District Representative Brian Burnett to strengthen the supervision of individuals convicted of stalking passed out of the House Committee on Community Safety yesterday. House Bill 2510 would require the Washington State Department of Corrections to supervise individuals convicted of stalking when they're released into community custody. Under current state law, the supervision requirement does not always include stalking convictions. Burnett, the former 3-term Chelan County Sheriff from Wenatchee, said the bill would address a gap in the state's criminal justice system. It now moves forward in the legislative process. When we come back, the man found guilty of shooting his former girlfriend to death on Badger Mountain Road 3 years ago appeared from prison by video yesterday to have 2 of his convictions vacated. The city of Wenatchee is planning transportation and utility improvements along Crawford Avenue, including a new roundabout. And we will tell you about the Wenatchee Eniat Beaver Project. It's a nonprofit program which helps protect private land from beaver damage. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets. Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
The man found guilty of shooting his former girlfriend to death on Badger Mountain Road 3 years ago appeared from prison by video yesterday to have 2 of his convictions vacated. Dalton Scott Potter shot and killed Alyssa Longwell with her own handgun as they traveled in her car in January of 2023 and then opened fire on nearby witnesses. A Douglas County jury convicted him that year on 7 felony counts, including first-degree murder. But last year, an appeals court said there wasn't enough evidence to support 2 of those convictions, both for intimidating a witness. Court Commissioner Phil Safar signed the order Monday to revoke those 2 charges. The change does not affect the length of Potter's sentence. He is currently serving 53 years in the Washington State Penitentiary. The City of Wenatchee is planning transportation and utility improvements along Crawford Avenue, including a new roundabout. The construction would run from Miller Street to Okanagan Avenue. Other updates include a new sidewalk and curb ramps, a new water main, relocation of existing metered services, and repaving. Construction is expected to start in early June and will continue through the end of the year. The city will hold an open house in the City Hall chambers on February 11th for community members to discuss the project and ask questions. Since 2018, the Wenatchee Entiat Beaver Project has been trapping and relocating beavers from sensitive areas. The nonprofit program helps protect private land from beaver damage while also finding habitat, which the beavers can restore by building dams. Last year, the project relocated 2 of the animals to an abandoned beaver pond, only to watch as wildfire struck the area 1 month later. But to the surprise of program specialists, the beavers not only survived, but built a wetland that acted as a natural fire break where animals like pheasant, coyote, and even moose could find water and food. The Wenatchee Entiat Beaver Project is managed through Trout Unlimited. Coming up next, after Congress cut funding for the SNAP Ed food program, we will tell you how those cuts have forced nutrition services to change dramatically. Coming up in tonight's feature story, get ready for high temperatures in the upper 40s to near 50 degrees by the end of the week, with showers in the forecast this weekend. I'll have your local weather details coming up, along with Eric Grantstrom with a look at all things sports, including the Seahawks preparation for the Super Bowl this Sunday. That and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues after these messages.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
The winter prep sports season is here, and NCW Life Channel has you covered. Follow the Eastmont Wildcats and Wenatchee Panthers right here. Coverage brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Valley Tractor. Follow the action all winter long on your local TV station, the NCW Life Channel.
You build more than projects. You build what communities rely on. When the job site runs on results, put Kubota to work. Backed by expert service and support from your local Kubota dealer. Right now, bring home select Kubota KX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $4,800.
Well, you may know the Washington State University Extension Program from its many outreach projects like the Master Gardeners. But the Extension has been deeply involved in nutrition programs throughout Chelan-Douglas County, teaching classes on food preparation and safety to many different audiences, including school children. Congress put an end to the funding source for that program, known as SNAP-Ed, as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill last year. Margaret Vebrock has managed Washington State University Extension in the Wenatchee Valley for more than 50 years. In tonight's feature story, she told NCW Life's Jefferson Robbins the cuts have forced nutrition services to change dramatically.
Well, we were the first county in Washington State and actually the first state in the United States to get a grant to start the SNAP-Ed program. And so the SNAP-Ed, or the educational part of it, was to work with people who were SNAP or food stamp recipients to help them make better food choices to improve their nutrition. And that's basically how it started out, and that's how it's continued for like 33 years.
33 years. And so in that time, has SNAP-Ed enabled you to launch particular programs? Were you having outreach through SNAP-Ed that you couldn't have done before?
Yeah, we have some great programs. This last year, before it was cut, we were probably in 60 different classrooms, and we took a series of 7 classes to those instructional classrooms, and cooperated with the teachers, cooperated with the schools, and and I think the bottom line is we're teaching kids how to appreciate good food, but at the same time we talk to them about reading labels, getting more exercise, and just learning basic nutrition. And so that was a big part of our program. But also on top of that, we've probably cooperated with about 60 agencies in the 3-county area, and to do a variety of different things. But we developed a community garden with Celebration Lutheran Church for limited income people to come and grow their food. We did it with a women's shelter, and we also did it with the housing authority in Wenatchee. And we built raised garden beds through grants and labor and people who helped us do that. And so not only did they grow food, but then we had classes to teach them how to use the food, successfully rather than waste it. And if they had excess, then we encouraged them to take it to the food bank.
Everybody that you've dealt with through this program, it sounds like you're trying to help them achieve some kind of food independence or nutritional independence along the course of their lives.
That's right, and then along with food safety, is another aspect of it. But we just find that a lot of people don't have a lot of skills in how to cook. And the comment is made sometimes, well, if they're getting SNAP dollars, they should be able to cook. Well, that doesn't always work that way. If somebody in your family didn't cook, you're not going to learn how to cook. And so that's why we have we don't like to call them cooking classes, but it ends up learning about nutrition and how to prepare food. But we do that with Head Start and EPIC and different organizations. In fact, I'm just starting a new series this week at Manson School with Latino parents on how to shop and prepare food and using the new dietary guidelines.
33 years with this program, now that program's defunded. What's been the impact for WSU Extension here in the Valley?
Well, as we let our schools know that we weren't coming back, we were in 3 counties. That's a lot of schools, a lot of kids, and we weren't supplanting what they were supposed to teach. We were adding something new to their curriculum, that they didn't include already. And not only did we reach those kids, but we reached their parents, because every week they came to class, we sent a newsletter home to the parents in English and Spanish that said, here's what your child learned today, and here's some ideas to incorporate at home. So that's lost. As far as the nutrition education that we've done with the community gardens, we tried to make those so they'd be sustainable after we left, and they are. But as far as the classes of what I do with this produce that I'm growing, won't be there. Maybe in a smaller vein, but not with having 3 employees and very good employees to teach these classes and have empathy for whatever they were doing. That's not there.
So to put some dollars on it, it was about $350,000 that you could depend on from SNAP-Ed in the 2025-26 year, I think it was?
24-25.
24-25. But in 2026, that number has fallen to 0.
0, exactly. It's not there.
And that means the 3 folks that were employed in your office, they had to be let go.
Yes, they no longer have jobs, right.
Have you had clients, people who've used SNAP-Ed in the past, or agencies that have relied on you for that? Have they reached out this year saying we need your service, and you've just had to say no?
Well, we've had people call and they haven't realized what happened. We tried to let all of our partners know, but still have people call and say, can you come to our agency and do programs, or that sort of thing. And like I said, I'm going to start a program in Manson, a 3-series program, and we'll see how it goes. I don't speak Spanish, but they're very good with having interpreters, and they've already recruited an audience, and so I think it will go well. But I can only go so far with that part of my program, because I administered that program. I didn't teach a lot in that program, and so again, losing 3 full-time people makes a big impact.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. I hope you had a great Tuesday. Another one of those kind of cloudy, dreary days out there. The good news to all of this, that the temperature is very mild out there. And you can see those thick clouds that we saw throughout the day today. This is our tower camera on the south shore of Lake Chelan, and you can see all those high clouds and even some lower clouds hanging around the Cascades today. All of us throughout the state pretty much had the same situation throughout the day today with those clouds and mild temperatures. And as we make our way through the rest of the week and into the Super Bowl Sunday, things aren't going to change a whole lot. We're going to see some areas of fog once again tomorrow, maybe Thursday and Friday too here, but I think mainly tomorrow will be our last foggy day. But our temperatures are the big story. Mid-40s to low 50s right through the week and into the weekend. And by the time we get into Saturday night and especially Super Bowl Sunday, rain showers in our forecast, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But high temperature today, not bad out there. Unofficially at 44 degrees, 38 is our normal for this time of year. Look at that record, 59 degrees set back in 2018. Our low this morning, 37, 26 is our normal low, and our record low for the 3rd day in a row from 1996, 7 below 0. Sunrise 7:24 and the sunset at 5:06. All right, taking you into Wednesday, temperatures will begin to warm up. We'll see, I think, maybe a peek at the sun in the afternoon tomorrow. 50s for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 49 in Quincy, 47 for Ellensburg and Wenatchee, and then 46s for Entiat and Chelan. Cashmere, your high temperature tomorrow, a very mild 46 degrees. Tonight we can expect partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, but I do want to show you something before we get into our forecast. Here is what's called a blocking area of high pressure. Look at the size of this area of low pressure in the Pacific. It's trying to make its way on shore, but that high just keeps blocking it, and you can see the edge of that low right here with the ridge up and over us, and that will be our situation tonight and moving forward. Low temperatures tonight into those mid-30s. For your Wednesday, we will see mostly cloudy skies. I think patchy fog in the morning. That should burn off in the afternoon. afternoon. A little bit warmer tomorrow with highs in the mid to upper 40s for Wednesday. And we are going to continue to go up from there as we get you into the end of the week. By Thursday, we do expect partly cloudy skies with just high clouds. And you can see that gray area, some high clouds in the afternoon Thursday. It will continue to be mild with high temperatures Thursday afternoon all the way up into the upper 40s. And then as we end your work week on Friday, once again, high pressure firmly sitting over eastern Washington as well as Utah. And that will continue to build that ridge over us. High temperatures Friday near 50 degrees. And boy, it's going to stay that way temperature-wise. But on Saturday, our high pressure ridge begins to retreat a little bit, and that'll allow this cold front to move in. And we won't see a whole lot during the day, but as we get into Saturday night, there you have it. And that's about 9 o'clock, 50% chance of rain Saturday. Look at those temperatures, though, right around 50 degrees. And then for Super Bowl Sunday, cloudy skies, and it's going to be a wet one, at least a 70% chance of rain, maybe even some snowflakes mixed in on Super Bowl Sunday. But doubt it, though, with high temperatures right around 50 degrees. And then as we get you into the next work week on Monday, when none of you are going to want to go to work, mostly cloudy skies and still mild on Monday with afternoon highs in the upper 40s. Time for your 7-day forecast now, brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. Overnight tonight, another warm one, 36 degrees. A little bit of morning fog tomorrow, giving way to partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. 47 your Wednesday high. High clouds Thursday and 48, and beautiful on Friday with partly cloudy skies and 50. And then rain showers Saturday night into Super Bowl Sunday with high temperatures near 50 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. And the forecast for Monday with high temperatures then around 48 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
It's time for special Seahawks Super Bowl coverage right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Today's report brought to you by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Doghouse Motorsports, Dragoo Financial, and Latimer Chiropractic. And now, here's our own sports director, Eric Granstrom.
We are just 5 days away from Super Bowl 60. Monday was reserved for the media spectacle where coaches and players were subjected to an hour of questions from media and non-media members alike. One quality question to Coach Mike Macdonald gave him a chance to reflect on the influence of John Harbaugh on his career.
I don't think it's possible to overstate his influence on me. I love John Harbaugh. He's one of my biggest mentors. Was willing to take chances on me when other people weren't, and invested in me and my career throughout, and stretched. You know, like the things that I felt like I could do. He had a vision for me in my career that I probably didn't have for myself, and all those principles that are part of his program that he's about as a person resonated with me, and those are a lot of the foundational principles that we brought to Seattle, and he's a great friend. He's got a great family, so I can't tell you how much I love him.
There's been plenty of speculation about the future of Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak leaving Seattle after the Super Bowl to become the new head coach for the Raiders. Macdonald says they'll worry about that kind of thing next week.
Obviously, that's going on with Clint, and like we said before, with our coaches, as they get these opportunities to take their career to the next level, you're happy for him. It's a little bittersweet because he's such a great person and a great coach. But we have a lot of great coaches, and those people are going to have opportunities as well. And we want Seattle to be a place where people want to come, and not just players play the best version of their football lives here and the versions of them. We want the coaches as well, where people can come and flourish and have a chance to take their game to the next level. So, but look, we're focused right now. Those are things that we're going to worry about after the game. And so in terms of like fielding the coaching staff, all those things we're going to worry about right now, that's stuff that we're going to worry about next week.
Of course, Monday's extravaganza included plenty of oddball questions for the players.
Would I rather get in trouble with my coach or my mom? My coach, 1,000%. My mom is a West River, Hardin County woman who pulled my ear growing up. So for sure, my coach, JB, would be a much easier out there.
Most likely to win Dancing with the Stars. Believe it or not, a lot of these guys can't dance. I'm going to say myself, because I just told the guys that I could definitely be on Dancing with the Stars. If they see this, put me on Dancing with the Stars. I'll surprise everybody. I got a little cha-cha in me.
Okay, Mr. Jackson Smith Ninjaba. How many points is your name in Scrabble worth it?
How many points? A lot. I didn't play that game growing up, to be honest, too much, but probably a lot.
Swimsuit did an NFL edition. Who from your team should be on the cover?
That's a great question. Besides myself, no, I'm just kidding. Shoot, I don't know. I think Gray's able. We might have to see him out there in a swimsuit. So, no, I'm not going to choose myself. I feel like, that would be a little cocky, a little arrogant. So I won't do that. But Gray's able. Maybe some other big fellas as well. Get them out there. They would just be in swim trunks, right? Or are you thinking just swim trunks? Yeah. No, they'd be great. It'd be awesome.
Seattle sits as a 5-point favorite over the Patriots for Sunday's Super Bowl 60, which kicks off at 3:30 on NBC. We are 9 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting to Mariners spring training camp in Peoria with some big changes in the clubhouse. We learned over the weekend that fan favorite Eugenio Suarez signed as a free agent to go to Cincinnati. Monday, Seattle worked a 3-team deal to bring all-star infielder Brendan Donovan to the Mariners in exchange for third baseman Ben Williamson, right-handed pitcher, I want to make sure I get this right, Jurangelo Senja, outfielder Ty Pete, and outfielder Colton Ledbetter. Seattle's first Cactus League game will be in 18 days against San Diego. Well, the Seattle Kraken will go for a 5th straight win tonight in Anaheim. Seattle's coming off an impressive 3-2 win against the first-place Vegas Golden Knights on Saturday. They'll drop the puck coming up at the Honda Center at 7 o'clock. The game broadcast on TNT and HBO Max. Ephrata and Quincy will be hosting prep basketball games on the Columbia Plateau tonight. The Tigers host East Valley at 5:30, while Toppenish travels to Quincy. Also tonight, Bridgeport visits Omak at 5:45. 6 o'clock girls games have Chelan at Lake Roosevelt. Manson's hosting Cascade. Brewster's on the road at Okanagan. Liberty Bell hosts Tonasket. Etiat plays at Oroville. And Moses Lake Christian visits Soap Lake. The boys' schedule gets underway at 7 with East Valley at Ephrata and Quincy's hosting Toppenish. Bridgeport plays at Omak at 7:15. Chelan's on the road at Lake Roosevelt at 7:30. Manson hosts Cascade. Brewster visits Okanagan. Liberty Bell takes on Tonasket. Etiat plays at Oroville. Soap Lake hosts Moses Lake Christian. Waterville Mansfield home tonight against Wilson Creek. Well, the prep wrestling schedule includes 3 Big 9 matches tonight. Eastmont celebrates senior night with a home match against Davis. Moses Lake finishes the regular season on the road at Sunnyside. Wenatchee's also on the road at West Valley. Girls matches start at 6. The boys will follow at 7 o'clock. Now, speaking of which, NCWLIFE channel will broadcast tonight's match between Eastmont and Davis. Both the girls and boys matches, senior night celebrations, will be streamed on our Facebook page beginning at 6. I'll be Matt Side with your play-by-play for wrestling tonight. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
And that will do it for this Tuesday edition of the NCW Life Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. Our channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us and have a great night.